Six Flags America is closing its gates for good, but before it does, I'm going to review all of its rides to see which ones should be saved and which ones should have closed years ago. Right, I'm going to start with a bit of a tricky one, because if you haven't seen my visit to this park, I will link it at the end, but it wasn't productive. So the first coaster I didn't get on, and that is Batwing. Now, this is the Vekoma flying coaster, which I actually really wanted to get on. Now, when we were there, one train went out, and I think 4 of our group were lucky enough to be on it, and then unlucky because the damn thing packed in and they had to get evac'd because they were lying on their back in the station. And that's kind of the thing, right? So you get in this contraption and then it lies you backwards. So if you think about the Vekoma, sorry, the B&M flying coasters, you sit in it, you're suspended, and then it raises up. Well, this one, the track is below you, like a standard coaster, and they lie you down. So you're going up this lift hill, lying on your back, which is odd. And actually, looking at the layout, there seem to be more sections that you're on your back than you're kind of in the flying position. But yeah, sadly, this is one of those rare credits that I did not get and will not get, because as far as I'm aware, this is the last Vekoma flying coaster out there, or if it isn't, there's only maybe 2 or 3. Pretty sure it's the last one though, and I genuinely don't see this being relocated. I'm curious when this park closes how much they're going to save and move to other parks, etc. This one seems like a maintenance nightmare, and obviously if it is one of the last of its kind, it's going to be difficult to get parts. So my gut says this bad boy is going in the bin, and I can't give it a rating because I didn't experience it. Right, there's one coaster, well there's a few actually. This next coaster I did experience, it's the B&M Floorless Coaster, known as Firebird. I didn't seem to have a lot of luck with any of the B&M Floorless coasters. I just don't think I'm the right shape and size for the restraints. And by that I mean I'm a short arse and my head is right between those restraints. So at numerous points where it gets a little bit rough, pinball. My head was just banging off those restraints and it was not great. It was a reasonably good layout. Alright forces, some nice inversions, there's a little section called Firebird, there's a little section where there's a fire and some smoke, which is nice. I mean, Six Flags aren't exactly known for theming. Once in a while they'll try and then they'll just run out of money and stop. We'll get to that later in this park, but yeah. Because of the head banginess, for me personally, I wasn't a fan. Guy I was sitting next to, the guy in the group, was over 6 foot, his head was way above those restraints, so he was totally fine. So your mileage may vary, and you may love this ride if you're not short arse like me, or you've got stronger neck muscles, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'd put this one and take it or leave it. Again, I just don't know if this is something that the park would relocate, or sorry, Six Flags would now relocate, or if it's just going to go at the scrap pile. But yeah, I'd put it and take it or leave it personally. Right, there's always a shameless kiddie cred, and this park was no exception. Their kids' ride was called Great Chase. And if you've seen the video about the other Six Flags, where I had the same rant as I'm about to have, yeah, the way that they do kiddie rides is a little bit frustrating. Again, if you've done them in the UK, they're obviously designed for children, right? Although, there's an expectation, I think, that an adult will accompany you. So you would think that they would at least cater for said adult. And there's some other coasters we'll get onto in future parks where they're a bit more spacious, and although they are children friendly, they're also accompanying parent friendly. This one, not so much. It's quite snug, and here in the UK, if you get on one of these coasters, they let you sit in the middle, spread your legs out, you know, put the bar down, job done. Not at the Six Flags. No, they say, no, you must sit on the left or the right. Pick a side. It's a bit snug. And then you've got this thing that absolutely staples you in. So, look, I'm an advocate of kids rides. I think they are an important way to introduce the new generation to coasters. So I am going to keep it, but yeah, if you've got a child and they're going on this coaster, I mean, probably not because the park's closing. If they relocate it and you get to go on this, send the kid alone, away from the sidelines. Right, another frustration when I was there, again, I said this in a recent video, Blackpool's obviously getting a gyro swing next year, so any opportunity I get to go on a gyro swing, particularly if they're larger variants, I'm trying to take it. I couldn't in this park because the damn thing wasn't open. So they do have Harlequin Spinsanity. Couldn't tell you if it's any good. I probably never will because, well, it's shutting, so unless it's relocated. So if you've been on this one, let me know what you think. But yeah, I can't rate it. Sticking with that theme, there's another coaster. So there's a whole section of the park, Steamworks I think it is. And as I said earlier, Six Flags do not typically theme. But this side, they did. Like, we walked into this section and we were like, oh, this is well themed. Like, not Disney Universal level of theming, but, you know, more than Blackpool. So it was reasonably well themed. And there was Zamperla Nebulous. And I was like, well, they're new rides. So I've since seen this area opened in 2024. Clearly before the merger happened, and I think that merger has been one of the worst things that's happened to the American theme park industry, because they've just butchered everything. Anyway, inside that area that is nicely themed, towards the back of it, they've got a ride called Professor Screamore's Skywinder. That's a mouthful. Long story short, it's an SLC, a Vekoma suspended looping coaster. I didn't get on it because, again, the day I was there, their operations were horrific. Some of our group got on it, some of our group got stuck on the brake run because it also packed in just before I got to it. So I almost got on it, but I didn't. It's an SLC, and I think I've only done one, maybe two SLCs that are re-rideable. There's the Great Nor'easter at Maurice Pier, because it's a custom layout, and retracked, new trains, all that kind of stuff. And then the Kumali, the Shenlin layout, I think it's called. They're okay as well. So I suspect this probably isn't a great ride, but I can't rate it because I didn't experience it. And again, never will. And that said, given this area's been tarted up, this might be a coaster that gets saved and shifted elsewhere. So you never know, we might see this one around. But if you've been on it, let me know your thoughts. Right, we're about halfway through this list, so if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button, and if you want to see more of this, and indeed my entire trip around the US, well, that little button down there that says subscribe, you might want to click that one as well. So just next to the SLC, and the reason that well no, not the reason I missed it, because I saw it packed in, so went on this other attraction, they've got a set of rapids, Quantum Canyon Rapids. And they were alright, because it's in this area that they've attempted to theme, so it had a little bit of theming, again, not like massive budget theming, but it did have some. It's weird. I came off the ride and I was mostly dry, except for my back. Like, my back was absolutely soaking, so, but it was good fun. And obviously not something that's going to get relocated. Can't imagine they would dig up the trough and move it somewhere else, so the boats might get reused somewhere else. The ride itself is going in the bin. But I would have kept it, personally, because I quite liked it. Another attraction that probably won't get saved, because I think it's, well, I don't know, maybe it will, who knows, is Raging Cajun. Now, I know when we went there, Andy Coaster Crazy was quite like, wait, this is a well-known ride, and it's a spinning wild mouse attraction. And it is a spinning wild mouse. And it spins more than anything I have ever encountered. It is absolutely mental. Especially, I was going to say especially if you sit one person on the outside of either side, but that's how they tell you to sit. You can't sit two on one side, they make you spread out. And it goes absolutely bananas, to the point, I don't mind spinning rides, but even I had to kind of just stare up at the sky, because I was like, if I'm looking in front of me, it's like, it was mental. It was just absolutely bonkers. The thing that annoyed me about it though, I don't know why they've done this, but on the restraints, for some reason, there was lots of cable ties tied around it. I mean, again, they like to staple you into the rides over there. I guess they've had too many lawsuits from accidents, so they just go, you're not getting out this bloody thing. But that meant the cable ties were just digging into my stomach, which was not comfortable. So nonetheless, it was a fun ride. I would like to see it kept and moved elsewhere. Probably not going to happen. So yeah, I would have kept it. But who knows what Six Flags are going to do. Right, one attraction that the day I was there, I don't think it opened at all. Somebody said they saw it testing, but none of our group got on it, and I certainly didn't see it go round. Was their other wooden coaster known as Roar. So I don't know what it's like because I didn't get on it and I didn't speak to anybody who's been on it. So sadly another one I cannot give a rating to, but if you've been on it, tell me what you think, because wooden coasters can be relocated. It's very expensive. There's no chance Six Flags are going to do that, so this is going in the bin for sure. But I wonder if it was worth keeping. Right, the most frustrating thing, well, one of the most frustrating things for me, we went straight to Superman Ride of Steel. Coaster at the back of the park, and you know, we'd heard that and Batwing were two unreliable rides, so we were like, go to them first, let's knock them out. Now you've obviously heard my story, I didn't get on Batwing. Guess what? I didn't get on this either. Train came into the station, and a group of guests got on it, off it went, came back in, it didn't park properly. So they got the engineering to PM out, and they had to park the thing, and reset it, and let everybody off. And then one of our groups went on it, and they got round it, and it came in and it didn't park. And so the mechanic came back again, and he parked it, only this time he went underneath it and started fanning around, and I didn't see it run for the rest of the day. So I was one train away from getting on this, and I didn't. I heard it was okay. The guys seemed to think it had pretty good airtime on it. I don't know, never will know, probably won't get kept. So yeah, another one. If you've been on it, let me know what it's like. So when I was there, after the two failed attempts to get on a coaster in the forms of Superman and Batwing, I did get on Joker's Jinx. Now, you could see this, obviously, it's this big spaghetti bowl of coaster track, kind of bright green, like intermingled stuff. You get on it and it looks like just like, oh, this is a family coaster. Like the trains don't look appropriate for anything fancy. They've got this weird thing with the restraints that you pull the restraints down and then there's a seatbelt, not around you, but the seatbelt goes into the restraint. I think that's just to check that the restraint's far enough down, and but it clicks in a weird way. Like if you think about something like a B&M invert, you pull down the harness and then you put the seatbelt on. And one of the parks told us the seatbelt is just to see if the seatbelt fits, it's far enough down, that's all it's for, it does nothing else. Probably the same here, but it's just the way it clicked in was odd. Anyway, get on this thing, and it starts sort of rolling out the station, and Andy turned around to me and went, by the way, this thing's really fast. And literally the words had just left his mouth, off we went. It wasn't wrong. It shoots you at quite some speed out of that station. And then it goes around this spaghetti bowl and inversions and all sorts of stuff. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I did another similar ride in a park later on, which we'll cover in a few weeks' time. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, so it's going to my keep pile. Right, there's a flat ride here that I didn't go on. And I didn't go on it, not because I didn't want to go on it, because I've been on a similar ride in the UK and I did enjoy it. I didn't go on it because I didn't have a huge amount of faith in the park. So it's Voodoo Drop, which is their Intamin drop tower. So I've been on Apocalypse, RIP, at Drayton Manor, and I really enjoyed that. So when I got there, I was like, oh, drop tower, looks like an Intamin drop tower, I want to get on it. Between the poor operations, the broken down rides, and then at one point they had a full power cut, I didn't really fancy going on it and getting stuck at the top for God knows how long. So yeah, I skipped it out. I don't know, again, probably not something that will get saved, but yeah, I suspect it probably would have been good and probably would have went into my keep pile, but I'll never know. So as with the other ones, if you've experienced it, let me know in the comments down below. Right, then the last coaster that they've got is a wooden coaster known as the Wild One. And listen, I really enjoyed this coaster. I think it was a lot of fun, a lot of airtime, a lot of frustration as well, because this was yet another one where the park had this really slow operations, bonkers, like pretty sure if I remember correctly, they did almost like the RMC thing where they're like, put your seatbelts on, but don't pull down your lap bar. So then they go run up and down the train and they check that your seatbelt's on. And then once they've done that, now pull down your lap bar, and then they run up and down the train again. So like, it just takes far too bloody long to do. Like, I would almost get that if it was, like, sometimes you've seen that where it's like, just, they'll come around, they'll check your seatbelt, and then they'll pull down your lap bar. That's not what they did when I was there. It may be what they're meant to do. It certainly isn't what I remember them doing. They went up and down that train twice. So the dispatches were like one a week. It was horrific. and it kind of took away from it a little bit because I was kind of a bit fed up by the time I got on the damn thing. You know, wasn't the biggest queue, but it took forever to get on the ride. I did enjoy the ride. I really did enjoy the ride. And again, it's a Woody, so the chances of it getting saved are super, super small. Not impossible, does happen. But yeah, I'd have kept it. Now, the park obviously has a number of other smaller attractions that I'm not covering, partly because I didn't go on them, and my focus was all about trying to get credits given the time-sensitive nature of that park. And I got as many credits as I could, but there were still 3 coasters that I did not get on. Now, actually 4, sorry. There was the SLC, Superman, Batwing, and the wooden coaster Roar. So 4 things I missed out on, and I'm kind of disappointed. That said, the things I did get on, there's nothing in this list that I put in the scrap pile. So yeah, I think it probably had some potential, and obviously they'd started to invest in 2024 before the merger, and then Six Flags obviously went, you're on the chopping block, which is kind of disappointing. So listen, if you've been at this park, I'd love to know your thoughts, whether you're disappointed to see it go or whether you think it's the best thing that could have happened, and indeed the ride lineup, what you think of it. So if you haven't seen my visit to that park, I'll put a link up here where you can see just how disappointing that visit was.